Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to this bonus armchair presentation. We're very lucky, very privileged to have Jackie joining us in just a moment, and I'll be soon handing over to Jackie to talk all things Princess. We're of course talking about the new deployment, the 4-ship deployment to Australia, including some great cruises to and from Fremantle, which we're very, very excited about. I'm going to hand straight over to Jackie. I will jump back in towards the end of the presentation. We do kindly ask that you keep all of your microphones on mute. If you have got a burning question and we have time, we will try to answer them, but we have got a pretty packed presentation today. But of course, you do have the Bixton team who are pretty much Princess experts, and they'll be able to answer your questions when they're back in the office tomorrow morning as well. But without further ado, Jackie, over to you.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Barry. Thanks, Bixton, for inviting me along tonight for a presentation from your armchair. I'm very honoured to be here. Although our Princess ships are paused at the moment, we've definitely been working really hard behind the scenes. And so tonight I just wanted to recap on what we've been doing in terms of improving the health and safety on board, our updated Cruise with Confidence policy, how our leading edge technology, Ocean Medallion, is going to assist with our safe resumption to cruise, as well as what Barry mentioned, the very exciting and new 22-23 summer program, which is going on sale next week. So we will get cracking because I have got a lot jam-packed in for you this evening. We will kick things off with our Medallion Class. So Medallion Class is the ultimate in effortless and personalized cruising. It begins with your Ocean Medallion. It's about the size of $1. It is a wearable device, and it enables everything from touch-free boarding through to locating your loved ones on board, as well as enhanced service. So you can get whatever you want, whenever you want. Hopefully some of you have already experienced the Ocean Medallion technology previously, pre-COVID, on the ships that already had it. But for those of you that haven't, we're going to run through those features now. It is very exciting. The Ocean Medallion is going to be enabled across the entire fleet, and we will have that done by the end of this year. So we already do have 6 of our ships: the Caribbean, Crown, Regal, Sky, Royal, and Ruby Princess. And as you can see on the slide there, the rest will be enabled throughout the year. It is quite a feat to get this technology onto the ships. We're essentially turning our ships into smart ships. So there is a lot that goes in terms of cabling, sensors, touch screens. It takes a lot of manpower and about 10 to 12 days in dry dock. So there is a lot of work, but we have the time to do it, which is very exciting. So the Medallion Class kicks off with your Medallion Class app. Everything that you need is in this one app that you can download. You can even download it today and have a little play around with it if you like, but it will assist with your getting ready for your cruise. So before you cruise, you can do your cruise personalizer. You can update all your personal information, upload your passport or driver's license details, take a picture, and put all your preferences of what you like, what you don't like, and get ocean ready. And that's just going to make embarkation when you get to the terminal that much quicker as well. And there is our lovely Sean, who works in my team. He was very excited when he got to cruise a couple of years ago on Royal, I believe. And as you can see there, once you are ocean ready and you've imported your booking, you've got all your details in there, you're going to have that little countdown clock. So it's going to tell you that in 9 days, 10 hours, 59 minutes and 46 seconds, you're going to be going on your cruise. So I know if that was me, I would be super excited checking that on the daily. When you are ocean ready, you've got your app on your smartphone, you get to the terminal, you check in like a breeze. It is absolutely touchless now. Because you've done everything pre-cruise, there's nothing that you need to do except show up, collect your medallion, and then board the ship. We've already got your photo. We have all the other details. Now, if you don't have a smart device, that's okay. You don't need to have one. It's not absolutely necessary for this technology. It just means that when you get to the terminal, it's just going to take a little bit longer because it's a bit more of a manual process, but it's absolutely fine. We're saying that with this new technology being all touchless, enabling our guests to physically distance as well, that you can get from the terminal to, from the curbside to by the pool in less than around 10 minutes. So we can get you on board enjoying your cruise holiday without too many delays lineups along the way there, which is really exciting. The number one feature that our guests love the most about the Ocean Medallion is the keyless entry into your stateroom. No longer do you have to fumble around for your cruise card and swipe your cruise card. You literally approach your stateroom door. As you're approaching, your Medallion works with the panel beside the door. It knows that you're approaching. Your name will come up if you're celebrating a special occasion, anniversary, wedding, divorce. It'll say congratulations on the little screen. And then once you're at the door, it unlocks and you simply turn the handle and walk right in, which is awesome if you're coming back with a plate full of food. And I know if that was me, it wouldn't be coffee, it would probably be some wines or some cocktails. So it is great. It makes life so much easier being touchless and hands-free there. It also helps with finding a way around the ship. Now, we have got some big ships coming down under for the new season. And if you haven't been on board one of these ships or any of the Princess ships, it can be quite daunting sometimes to navigate your way around. So we do have this wayfinding technology. You can simply jump on your phone, go into the app, or you can also come to many of these big touch screens that we have throughout the ship, like pictured here, this lady, she's come to one of the portals located around the ship. And as you approach with your Ocean Medallion, it'll register where you are. You simply punch in where you would like to go, and then it will tell you the fastest way to get there. So if you're sitting by the pool having some cocktails and realize that you're running late for the show in the Princess Theatre, instead of perhaps starting to walk after, you need to be going forward or not knowing the quickest way to get there, this is really going to help, which is great. Another thing that I absolutely love about this technology is find your shipmates. So if you're traveling with friends, family, perhaps a big crew, you're celebrating a big birthday on board and there's lots of you, maybe you're there for a work conference, it can be really hard to find your friends and family when you're on board. Everyone kind of drifts off and does their own thing. So you can actually go into the app and locate where your friends and family are. It's a little bit like Facebook. You have to request the friendship or request the follow as such. And then once they've approved that, you can go in at any time and see that, which is great. So if you want to find someone, you can track them down. Now, the opposite to that is if you don't want to be found, and maybe you don't, maybe you need some time out, some time to yourself, you can actually put yourself in sort of incognito mode, so no one can actually find you, which is handy if you've perhaps had a few drinks the night before and just want to chill out in your room for a little bit but not be known that you're doing that. It is a great feature. It is a feature that kids obviously don't have access to. They can always be seen by their parents on board. We've also got whatever you need delivered at any time, so this is really going to help in terms of the congestion or large crowds gathering when cruise does resume. You don't have to go to the bar anymore to order a drink. You can simply order it from your smartphone and the crew will bring it to you. Not only drinks, you can order whatever you want, whenever you want actually. So maybe you want some different pillows because you're not happy with the pillows in your room. Mind you, our Princess Luxury bed with the Princess Luxury pillows are quite divine, but maybe you want something a little bit firmer so you can change up your pillows. If you've want a dressing gown, you can order it. If you need some fresh towels, if you need some food, whenever you want, wherever you want, you can order it on your phone, which is fantastic. So that's a great feature of the Ocean Medallion there. You can also play games anywhere on board. So maybe it'll be games with friends and family members through the app. You can also gamble. So there are some gambling apps. So maybe if you don't want to sit in the casino inside and you'd rather play the pokies by the pool, you can still do that. It is real money though, not Monopoly money. So just be careful about that. Playtime anywhere. And then finally, we've got the best Wi-Fi at sea. So to get this technology working, we had to put thousands and thousands of sensors all over the ship, as well as Wi-Fi routers in every single stateroom as well. So the Wi-Fi is not only just in the public spaces, it's also in your room. So if you want to stay connected to friends and family back home, maybe upload some pics onto your social media, rub it in about the amazing time you're having on board your cruise, then the Wi-Fi is going to enable that. And it's going to be super fast speeds as well. So you can even stream your favorite TV shows from Netflix if you'd like to. So that's the Ocean Medallion. I know I'm going through it super fast, but we've got a lot to cover. Now, some of the enhanced features that we've been working on to assist with our resumption to cruise when it is safe to do so, and we're really hoping that that is going to happen in October of this year when our ships come back to Australia for our upcoming 21-22 summer season. As I mentioned before, we've got that touchless embarkation with staggered arrivals. So we're going to have a lot more different embarkation times for our guests now as well, simply to try and stop large groups of people gathering at the terminal. And we really do hope that our guests stick with us and stick to their designated times as well. We're going to have enhanced cleaning at the terminals. We'll have temperature checks. I believe there may be a requirement potentially for a COVID test prior to departure. We're still waiting on confirmation about that, but we will be doing temperature checks at the terminal with enhanced health screenings as well. So if anyone does seem to come across with any kind of symptoms, they will have to go through additional screening before they're allowed to embark. The other thing that we've changed up, which is pretty exciting, is our passenger safety drill protocol. So as many of you have cruised probably know that when you embark a ship day one, you've got your muster drill. It usually happens an hour or so before cruise departure, and you've just been getting into your drinks and having a great time, and then all of a sudden you've got to go to your muster drill and you sit around for an hour in a small space and it's quite crowded. Well, that's a thing of the past now. No longer will we have muster drills happening in the muster stations with all of the guests. Now what will happen is when you board the cruise on day one, you can either watch the safety video from your stateroom TV, or you can also watch it through the Ocean Medallion app. And you have to do that sometime between boarding and then the cruise departing. Once you've watched that video, you do have to swing past your muster station. So you do still need to go to your muster station at a time that suits you prior to cruise departure and essentially be ticked off the list that you've watched that. So they'll know either that you've watched it on your stateroom TV, or they'll be able to see that you've watched it through the Ocean Medallion app. And also it just means that you know where your muster station is as well. So in the unlikely event of an emergency, you will know where to go. In terms of the health questionnaires and frequent health checks, we will be doing frequent health checks of our crew as well as our guests. So we will be taking temperature checks probably when we're in every port, and just making sure that we're keeping the safety and well-being of all our guests in check on the daily. As I mentioned before, with Medallion, you've got your touchless payments, so there's no handling of cash or anything like that. But the other really great thing is we're going to now have real-time visibility into venue capacity. So if you are looking to perhaps go to Explorers Lounge to participate in trivia, you can actually see before you go there if the venue is at capacity. And if it is at capacity, then don't waste your time going there. Find something else to do. We've got the Princess Padda, which has got everything listed. There's always something happening on board the ship. So you can see which venues are busy, which venues are at capacity, which venues are quiet, and then go to those areas that are going to work best for you. So that is really, really exciting as well. So there's some of the features that we've been working on. There is a lot going on still, and a lot that is not yet set in stone. We don't know if COVID testing is going to be mandatory for our crew and our guests. We're not sure yet if wearing masks is going to be mandatory. They're working really hard, but obviously the science behind COVID-19 is still changing quite regularly with new developments and enhancements as well. We are hopeful that come October, majority of our country here in Australia will be vaccinated. The vaccine for COVID-19 should be rolled out by then. So really there should be all systems go for the safe resumption of travel as well as cruise. But we are working really hard with leading governments, with the CDC, with leading health and medical experts to make sure that when we do start cruising, it's going to be safe. If you do want to know what we are doing, you can always go to princess.com. We do have a cruise health section there, and we'll be updating that anytime we've got any new information for you as well. So make sure you check that out. In terms of Cruise with Confidence, I just really quickly wanted to touch on this as well. It's now encompassing sort of two pillars. We've got your book with confidence as well as a princess promise. So the book with confidence means that you can now make a booking on a cruise for departures up until the end of this year in Australia, as long as you book it before the end of April. And if you do happen to cancel up to 30 days prior, the cancellation penalty will be placed into a non-refundable future cruise credit for you to use within 12 months. So it's just giving you the confidence that if you have a change of heart or if something changes in your personal life and you don't wish to cruise with us, as long as you're cancelling 30 days before, those cancellation fees will go into a future cruise credit. We've also got the Princess Promise. So we promise that if you're not happy with an onboard service, we will make it right or we'll refund you. So we're pretty confident that our crew on board are exceptional at doing, at servicing our guests. They are truly fantastic from when you get on board to the minute you leave. So we are really, really proud of our crew on board, and because of that we have put the Princess Promise in place as well. So we'll make it right. If we can't make it right, we will credit, refund, whatever we can to make sure that you leave that cruise happy. And that Princess Promise is whilst you're on board the ship. It doesn't include the pre and post cruise experience. So that's just a quick update on the Cruise with Confidence policy. Let's get cracking in terms of cruising on our new 22-23 summer season from Australia, including our world cruise for 2023. Now we have got 4 beautiful ships coming to cruise from Australia for that season. We've got Majestic Princess returning to Australia for her 3rd summer season. Majestic is one of the newest Royal Class ships that we have in Australia. Of course, we've got her sister ships, Sky coming, which is already out, Enchanted, and soon to be Discovery. But Majestic, she's only a couple of years old. She's a beautiful ship. Majestic was built with the Asian market in mind. So she does have slightly less bars on board and slightly less pools on board. But if you're a foodie, this is a great ship. She's got La Mer, she's got Harmony, some beautiful, new, unique specialty dining experiences. She's got the beautiful Hollywood Pool Club, which is an indoor adults only pool. So great for perhaps if you're cruising around New Zealand and maybe you're going in November or Feb, March, where the weather still might be a little bit dicey and you love to get your pool swims in. The Majestic is great because she's got that nice big large covered in pool area. We also have Royal Princess coming down as well. Royal's yet to visit Australia. She's one of the first of the Royal Class ships to come out, but this ship is going to be fantastic for families. Royal has a lot more bars on board compared to Majestic. She also has a lot more outdoor pools. And not only that, but in the outdoor pool areas, we have these beautiful cabana spaces as well that you can rent out, which is absolutely fantastic. She does also have a dedicated late night venue on board. So if you're the ones to stay up late and party, then you will really enjoy Royal Princess. Now, Royal and Majestic are going to be home porting out of Sydney. What's really exciting is Royal is actually going to be swinging past Perth as she repositions from Asia down to Australia. So there is opportunities for you to get on board and check her out. We also have Grand Princess. Now, Grand will be very familiar if you've cruised on Golden or Sapphire, Star, even Diamond. Grand is sister ships to those. So Grand and Golden are very similar. Grand will be home porting out of Melbourne. She's a beautiful sort of mid-sized ship, I guess, 2,600 guest capacity on board, whereas our Royal Class ships, Majestic and Royal, are 3,560. So she's kind of in that mid-size range. She had a really lovely refresh at the start of 2019 and got all of her outdoor dining venues and bars out around the pool decks all updated. And she's got the favorites on board as well in terms of the lounges, theatre and dining as well. So Grand's a really lovely option if you're looking at cruising out of Melbourne. And then finally, we've got Coral Princess. So Coral Princess is going to be cruising out of Brisbane. She'll also be the ship that will be visiting Perth as well, which is really exciting. And she'll be doing our world cruise for 2022 and 2023. Now, Coral Princess is the smaller ship that will be cruising from Australia. She's 2,000 guests on board. She's, I guess, a similar equivalent to perhaps our Sun class ships. So as you would know, our Sun class ships are no longer with us with the sale of Sun and Sea last year. Coral Princess is going to be a great addition to cruising from Australia and for our guests. And it's because Coral and her sister ship Island Princess were built for the Panamax Canal. So they're a little bit different in that they're quite narrow and they're really long and they're a little bit taller as well. So what this means is we've actually got a slightly bigger ship, but with the same amount of guests on board as we would have on Sun and Sea. So you've got about 15,000 extra tons on the Coral Princess. So just think about all that extra space for you to get about. There's loads of outdoor deck areas. These ships were built for cruising in super scenic destinations. So there's a really large, long promenade. You've got some beautiful outdoor pool areas as well. So Coral Princess is going to be great for the Australian market and great for that sort of smaller, more intimate ship experience as well. All right. Oh, I forgot I had this slide here. So Coral also, because of her sizing, means that we've got more of those premium room types, which is fantastic. We've got less interiors, a lot less ocean views, and way more balconies, mini suites and suites as well. So because she is quite narrow, we can't have as many interior rooms, which is why we have more of those premium rooms on board as well, which is great. Great for cruising around the world as well as cruising around Australia for those that love to have that balcony experience. So speaking about cruises, I'm sorry, I'm going to race through these really quickly though. Of course, we have our cruising around Sydney, which will be on Royal and Majestic Princess. We've got the cruising out of Brisbane, which will give you Papua New Guinea. So if you're looking for Papua New Guinea, you need to head to Brisbane. It's got some beautiful itineraries out of there. We also have cruising from Auckland. So for those Kiwis, we do have round trip options from New Zealand, or you can do one-way cruises to there as well if you'd like to spend some time in New Zealand. And then we've got cruising from Melbourne. As I said, it'll be on Grand Princess from Melbourne and Adelaide, but more importantly, cruising to and from Perth. And this is really exciting. We missed out on any itineraries in our upcoming summer season for this year for 21-22. So we're very glad that they have brought some options back for our WA guests. As you can see highlighted there, we've got 2 return options out of Perth. So we've got a beautiful 10-night Coral Coast cruise departing on the 6th of March, 23. We also have, which is super exciting, a 28-night round Australia cruise, again, leaving from Perth. Now, the brilliant thing about our round Australia, as well as our Northern Explorers, and it may be a little hard to see on these little maps, I know, but they're all domestic ports now. We no longer have to go to Papua New Guinea or have to go up to Indonesia incorporated in these cruises. We can literally stick to domestic ports only. So you don't need a passport. If you've maybe let your passport lapse last year and you don't plan on traveling internationally again, you can still do these cruises on your driver's license. We're visiting a beautiful new port of call called Curie Bay. This is up in the Kimberleys, about 400 k's north of Broome. So we're adding more scenic cruising and experiences in Kimberleys as well, which is really exciting. Because we only have the 2 departures, I anticipate that they are going to sell insanely quickly. So if you are interested in these, you want to be booking when they go on sale next week. As I mentioned before, we have got Royal Princess repositioning from Hong Kong down to Perth, and then she'll be doing a Southern Explorer from Perth round to Sydney as well. So there'll be the 2 options in October of 22 to get on the Royal Princess in or out of Perth there. So there are a couple of back-to-back options that you can do here. I know a lot of people in WA want to be able to cruise to New Zealand. We don't offer anything from Perth to New Zealand as such. However, we do have some options that work really nicely back to back that might assist with either, only one-way flight, or even perhaps packaging it up with the Indian Pacific and getting the train there or back as well. So we've got a 21-night Southern Australia Explorer with the New Zealand cruise. So this would be on the Royal Princess. You would leave Perth on Royal, get into Sydney, stay on board, and then enjoy a 13-night cruise around Sydney. So that is a nice option that's going in September. We then got a 28-night option. So for this one, you would need to head to Brisbane first. You could cruise around New Zealand from Brisbane on Coral Princess and then stay on board and cruise back from Brisbane on a Northern Explorer back to Perth. So that's a really nice back-to-back option there as well. I actually really like the New Zealand itineraries out of Brisbane, just because they visit Wellington and Napier and Tauranga as well. So you get a little bit more to see sort of the Maori history and culture. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you can get into Hobbiton. You've got some really lovely places that you can visit on this itinerary, which is a bit different to the cruising out of Sydney. So that would be my recommendation, is looking at the New Zealand itineraries out of Brisbane if you can get to Brisbane. And then finally, for those that are looking for something a little bit more grand, you can also package together the Northern Explorer with a 35-night Hawaii Tahiti South Pacific as well. So again, it's on Coral Princess. You would depart Perth on the 13th of April, 23. You've got a beautiful 52-night cruise coming back into Sydney, and then you just need to make your way back to Perth from there. So again, you could fly, you could drive, you could rail it. So there's a couple of different options there. So I just kind of wanted to highlight those because we do have those longer options available. It's just not always advertised our end. And then World Cruise, we've got the beautiful World Cruise coming out on Coral Princess. It's going to be an exceptional cruise. If you're looking at the itinerary, you might think, I've seen this before. Yeah, it's pretty much a carbon copy of the World Cruise that we were supposed to run this year that we weren't able to. It is going to be a fantastic itinerary nonetheless. We've got some beautiful new ports of call. We've got late night stays. It is 107 nights round trip from Auckland, Sydney or Brisbane. It will be departing Brisbane on the 4th of June 2023. Now, of course, 107 nights is a big commitment. Maybe you can't get that much time off work. Maybe you've got babysitting duties for grandkids. Maybe you don't want to be away from your dog that long. That's totally fine. We get that. There are obviously sectors available as well. So you could do much shorter sectors if you just want to pick it up. Now, the great thing about our World Cruise, Australian dollars, doesn't matter where you start or finish, and obviously no tipping as well. So with our World Cruise launch, we have got some fantastic early bird offers. If you are keen to get on and you have a particular room type that you'd like, please do book it when it goes on sale so you can get your preferred room. A lot of our dedicated cruisers, our elites who have done many, many world cruises, they know exactly where they want to be. And if they don't get their room, they're not happy. So make sure you get on nice and early, or get the Bicton staff to get on nice and early for you so they can secure that room. But lots of savings there, as you can see. Now, I just wanted to highlight, we have got a couple of new fare structures. Hopefully you've seen these, but basically with all of our cruises now, we offer the option of a Princess Plus, which is inclusive of Wi-Fi and drinks, or a Princess Saver, which is just a low cruise fare option with no inclusions. So the the Princess Plus is great if you want to stay connected, if you want to have Wi-Fi and you're keen to have a drink or two or 10, up to you. As you can see, it's about $103 value. And generally the price difference from a Saver to a Plus is usually only about a $40 difference per day. So you're getting $103 worth of value for roughly what is a price difference of about $40. So it is exceptional value. So do always consider it, as I said, even if you're not a massive drinker, if you like your specialty tea and coffee in the morning, if you like small bottles of water, milkshakes, mocktails, all that good stuff, it is still exceptional value considering you've got your Wi-Fi as well. Now, when does it go on sale? Our friends at Bicton are going to have to set their alarms nice and early for you because this goes on sale at 6 a.m. WA time. If you're an elite guest, you get to book on Tuesday, the 2nd of March from 6 a.m. If for all our other guests, it will go on sale from 6 a.m. WA time on Wednesday, the 3rd of March. All right. So that is for our new program. Now, we have got something that came out literally 5 hours ago. I just found out about it, so I wanted to quickly put a slide in to let you know. But we have got a special launching tomorrow. It's called Soar and Sail. Basically, we're giving up to $1,000 air credit per stateroom on selected voyages coming up in our 21-22 season. So cruising from this October through to April next year. It is covering cruising out of Auckland, Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, and Adelaide. And it would be dependent on the voyage, the cruise length, as to how much air credit you will get per stateroom. But this is going to go on sale tomorrow and run through to the 28th of March. We have got a limited amount of cabins available on this offer. So if you're keen to get something booked in for later this year or early next year, then definitely jump on Soar and Sail and get yourself a bargain. Of course, it is going to be combinable if you have any future cruise credits as well. They can absolutely be used towards the cruise fare portion. Now, speaking of future cruise credits, we are happy to announce that we will be extending all of our guests' future cruise credits through to 31 December 2022. So previously, most of our FCCs were going to expire in May. We are going to be extending them all through to December next year, giving you all more time to use those credits. Now, we do have two exceptions to that. If you are looking at booking a world cruise in 23 or a round Australia voyage in 23, we will extend the FCC to cover those voyages. So around Australia and World Cruise 23, we will make exceptions, extend the FCC, and apply them to those bookings. So that's some pretty exciting news as well. I think I have done pretty well to get that all fitted in 30 minutes. I think I've probably forgotten to say a couple of things, but from me, at Princess, we want to share our world, share our hearts, protect our earth, and create lasting memories with you all. So on behalf of more than 30,000 crew, officers, shoreside employees around the globe, we want to give you a very heartfelt thank you for your support and also for joining me tonight along with Victon in this Princess update. We really can't wait to welcome you back on board. And that is everything from me. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. That was brilliant. I definitely want to be on one of those back-to-backs, either across the top, across the bottom, and adding on a New Zealand cruise for sure. I just want to reiterate what a fabulous product the Medallion is, having experienced it on Sky Princess a couple of years ago. It's really hard to convey how good it is just in a presentation like this. It's not until you actually experience it on the ship and really see how much of a difference it makes to your everyday cruise life and the service levels that are given because of it. You really will appreciate it. So even if you are that little bit skeptical, rest assured, if you choose to go for that cruise card initially, you'll want to change straight over to Medallion because you'll see the benefits in it. Yeah, just wanted to re-endorse that for you. We are over time, so I'm unfortunately not going to be able to take questions from the listeners from the audience today, but we do encourage you to get in touch with the Victon team, with your favorite travel advisor, and ask those questions away. If we don't know the answers, we have a direct line through to Jackie and the team to be able to get those questions answered for you. But more importantly, if you want to pre-register for anything that you've seen or you want some extra information, do get in touch. We will happily take the pre-registrations for you and jump online at 6 a.m. to lock in that favorite cruise, that favorite stateroom that you might be looking for, because at the end of the day, we haven't been able to cruise for quite some time now, and we all need something to look forward to. So let's think about where we want to travel next. But Jackie, thank you very, very much for your time today. Great presentation. Very good news to see that we have got ships passing by Fremantle and that we can do local cruising once again.
So exciting. Thanks so much, Barry.